You are listening to 1252 Sports Entertainment. Parental discretion may be advised.
Woo! It's about that time. Fat Mike, Chicago Sports. Yeah. Woo. Finally here. Shot City Sports is right here. Updates on news, get it here. No rumors, cause we keep it real. Fat Mike. Woo. Sit back, relax, sugar beer one of them nights.
Hey, this is Carmen DeFalco from ESPN Chicago, and you're listening to the Fat Mike Sports Show.
Hey, this is Dave Richard from CBS Sports, and you're listening to the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show.
Hi, this is Jesse Rogers from the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Merkin, the longtime White Sox beat writer for MLB.com and proud graduate of the University of Michigan. You're listening to me on the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show.
This is Chuck Arfine, and you are listening to the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show. It's the best.
Hey, what's up? This is Greg Braggs Jr. from Braggs in the Stands, and you're listening to my guys on the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show. Boom!
Hey everyone, Freddie Hubner from ESPN 1000. Great to be on the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show. I'm Dan Zaborski, senior writer for Fangraphs, and you're listening to Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show.
I'm JJ Stankovitz from NBCSportsChicago.com and the Under Center podcast, and you're listening to the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show.
Hey Sparkle, you know what I listen to? It's the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show with my guy, Fat Mike. If you listen anywhere else, no jock. Listen to Fat Mike. It's fat.
Boy, oh boy, here we go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show. I am your host, Fat Mike, and I'm really excited to be back this week. We got a big show planned for us. We're going to be talking White Sox. We're going to be talking Blackhawks. We're going to be talking Bears. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a really great guest with us tonight, Harry the Greek from the Bucks Report down there in Tampa, down in Florida area, but he's a Southside guy with Southside ties, and that's why I'm super excited to have him on here with us tonight. It's going to be a very, very good show. I cannot wait. A lot of stuff's been going on this week in baseball, especially with our Cubs, our White Sox. Cubs are starting to shell off players. The White Sox are still looking for something in return here to boost them up, get them ready for the playoff spot, and I'm super, super pumped for this week. Deadline 3 o'clock. See what happens. It's going to be exciting. And I'm going to start this off. We'll start it off right now. Like I said, we're going to be talking Cubs. We're going to be talking a little bit of White Sox. We're going to be talking a tiny little bit about the Blackhawks. We're going to be talking some Bears here. And Harry the Greek from the Bucks Report is going to be bringing in some bets for us this year, this show today. And it's going to be fun. I'm excited to talk a little bit of that stuff. So if you guys want some bets, here's where we're gonna do it, because he's the guy. He's rolling a hot hand, a really, really hot hand. So let's dive into the Cubs here a little bit, okay? Cubs team still struggling. What did we all expect? We knew that in the middle of the year when they won 10 in a row or whatever the hell it wasn't going to be the case. That's not the team that we all envisioned that this team was going to be. We knew what this team was going to be and what their ultimate plan was when they sold Hugh Darvish. They surprised us there a little bit. They won a few games. They won 10 in a row or 10 out of 12 or whatever the hell it was. Okay, that's fine. But since then, this team has been a shell of themselves. Starting pitching has been poor. The bullpen has been outstanding. And the offensive aspect of everything, everywhere down the lineup between Rizzo, Bryant has been atrocious. What do you think this team is going to accomplish? They have nothing on this side of baseball. Every one of these guys on the Cubs roster right now, their return has never been lower. how do I phrase this? What am I trying to say? Their cost has never been lower. You can probably get crying right now for a bag of baseballs, it seems like, because he hasn't been doing much. Thing with Javier Baez, whoop-de-doo, he hit a homer the other night. Who cares? Rizzo had 3 homers back to back in 3 seconds. Don't care. There's plenty of trade pieces on this team that you got to be able to get something for, and that's the problem. This team's struggling right now. Yeah, they move Chafin. They move him out to Oakland. They get an outfielder who can play a little bit of infield, 26 years old. They get him back in return. Okay. He's 26. All right. You got Craig Kimbrell out there on this Cub team who's been pitching and dealing all year long. Finding the Craig Kimbrell of old. Good thing. You should get a haul back for Craig Kimbrell. Wilson Contreras is still here for some ungodly reason. I don't know why. There's plenty of teams that need a catcher that can play the defense that he does. One team, the White Sox, big time. Another team, the Boston Red Sox, could use him big time. Tampa Bay Devil Rays, or Tampa Bay Rays, whatever you want to call them. They could use him big time. I don't understand why we're holding on to these guys. I really have no idea. The Cubs better make some moves here before Friday because you got to get something in home. Now, an argument that I had with my buddies, it was like, okay, we all remember Mark Teixeira. We all remember him playing for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Yankees picked up his contract when the Angels didn't re-sign him. The situation that Chris Bryant is in currently right now. Since the Yankees picked up Mark Teixeira because they didn't have the money to afford him, they were given a compensatory. The pick turned into Mike Trout. Do you guys have any idea how rare that is? Extremely rare. You're not going to get Mike Trout out of a compensatory all the time. There's a no-name guy right before Mike Trout was drafted that was drafted by the White Sox. 1 pick before Mike Trout. Can you imagine that? Everybody's all hopped up on, we traded Fernando Tatis. What about you guys missed on Mike Trout? It's a big thing. This Cubs team has to get something in return. To me, in all honesty, there is absolutely 0 players on this Cubs roster right now. 0. Not a single one. Contreras, Baez, Rizzo, Bryant, Nico Horner. I mean, I love Nico, and I want to see what this kid can do. Kyle Hendricks, Craig Kimbrell, all these guys, all the Adbert Azalea, all of them are tradable. I don't care. Because when you boil down, how far are the Cubs out of being a contending team again? Really boil that down. Really think about it. If you guys are Cub fans, like me, I'm a diehard Cub fan that you can see right here. Right here. I got my Cubs pennant sitting right here. Diehard Cub fan. They're at minimum 5 to 6 years out of contention. Minimum. Because they have nothing in the pipeline. Nothing. And the only teams that are going to want these guys, I hope that who's listening right now understands this. The only teams that are going to want these guys, Bryant, Rizzo, Baez, Contreras, so on and so on. Okay? It's bad. It's real bad. You're only going to get contention teams. That's it. That's all. So obviously we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. I'm going to reboot here, guys. Give me 1 second. I apologize.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Darren, licensed real estate broker with Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group in Homer Glen. Are you looking to buy or sell? Have you been disappointed in the past? The Jonathan Darren team with Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group focuses on providing you with a concierge level of service during the process of buying or selling. We are a service-oriented team with a fresh and professional approach to selling real estate. Our goal is to combine knowledge, skills, and passion to exceed our clients' expectations, and most of all, we truly care. We are a knowledgeable real estate team focused on offering expertise and innovative solutions for our clients. The Jonathan Darren team has 5 full-service real estate brokers and a dedicated full-time marketer servicing all of Chicagoland. We will customize a detailed plan around your timeline for a sale, purchase, investment, estate, or other needs. Real estate transactions can be stressful, but don't need to be. Let us handle it for you. Visit our website, homesbyjdt.com, or call 708-308-1938 today. Expect better in real estate. Choose the Jonathan Darren team.
Honey, will you marry me?
Yes, yes, yes!
Let's get out of here.
Come to Indiana's premier venue. Come to the farm. Come see all the wildlife. Come to White Oak Farm Venue in Michigan City, Indiana.
Come to our 80-acre sanctuary right off I-94 in Michigan City, Indiana.
Come see all we have to offer from 2 brand new Amish-built barns with climate control.
Come see the ponds with beautiful waterfalls, meadows and wildflowers, and so much more.
Come see our secluded venue. After you enter our private road, you'll be in your own world away from it all, with outdoor ceremony spaces, wood-fired pizza ovens, and lots of fresh air.
Come enjoy Northwest Indiana's premier wedding venue, where you gather with your family and friends. Stretch your legs and enjoy the most memorable day of your life.
Visit White Oak Farm Venue at whiteoakfarmvenue.com or on Facebook/Instagram.
All right, and I am back. I apologize for that, guys. Something's acting a little goofy on my computer. I'm back on my phone. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Please comment if everything's going okay, because if not, I don't know what the hell to do here. But yeah, I want to bring on our guest here. Our guy, this guy is awesome. I love this man. He is fantastic. Harry is the
Well, I guess I'm going to take over here. So we're going to bring in our guy, Harry, right now. Harry.
Sorry, I'm having trouble. I've never done this off my phone before.
No big.
Today's a shit show, guys. I'm sorry. Today's a shit show. I apologize.
That's
okay. But yeah, my guy Harry the Greek here. He's had me on his show a bunch of times down there at the Bucks Report. He's got a great show down there. Harry, give us a little bit of insight. What's your show name? What are you guys talking about, man?
Well, I'm Harry the Greek. I represent Bucks Report. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at bucksreport.com. I have a show called The Over Under. There's plenty of shows on Buck Report. They not only have The Over Under, we have What's Cooking in the South, live from the cheap seats. We have shows literally every day of the week. You ought to come check it out. A little cross-pollination is pretty good. In my particular show, we talk a lot about gambling. We talk about things that are going around in the National Football League as well as what's going on in baseball. I've had a pretty good year this year. Actually, it stems in from last year, Mike. I was telling you a little bit about it. How you doing this evening? Thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks for coming on, man. Everything would be better if I could just figure out what the fuck is going on with my computer here. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I think it's all the porn. I think it's all the porn. It has to be the porn.
It sounds like what our Chicago Bears are doing. They don't know what the hell's going on either.
Right, exactly. Hey. Ease up on my Bears here a little bit, bud. Ease up on my Bears.
I'm a little older than you, and I was a Bear fan before you were born, sir.
Yeah, before I was even around.
Your computer's working like the Cubs are playing.
I was just a wet spot in my dad's sock when you were a Bear fan back in the day. Now you traded sides. Now you're a Tampa Bay guy. I don't know what the hell happened there, but we'll figure it out.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but you know what? I wouldn't trade it for the world. Tom Brady and the boys down here in Tampa Bay. It's a pretty good life, man. I would tell you right now. You got to jump on that bandwagon. Come on, there's a lot of room on that ship. You've seen it before.
I'm all right. I'm staying put because my team's going to be good here again soon, hopefully. But Harry, welcome. Thank you so much again for coming on here with us. I really do appreciate it. Not only did I want to bring you on to talk some gambling, but I brought you on because you're a South Side guy with South Side ties, even though you're living down there in Florida. Well, You're a big time White Sox guy, man.
I am.
Obviously, over the last couple of weeks here, decimated with injuries over the last couple of months with this White Sox team. Losing Eloy Jimenez, finally bringing him back. Losing Luis Robert, he's now to AAA. Losing Yasmani Grandal, who, as much as he is terrible defensively, he was helping this team with a high on base percentage and getting a lot of walks and hitting a homer when it counted. Now we're to the nitty gritty here. Friday is the deadline for this team, Harry. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You forgot about one other.
Nick Madrigal.
It's their biggest loss. Mike, seriously, for Sox fans that are out there, it's their biggest loss year to date. He's arguably one of the best second basemen in all of baseball, and this was his second year. You can say it was his rookie year. They kind of gave him a little bit of a baptism last year. Okay, the guy, if I'm not mistaken, struck out less than 10 times this year.
Right.
What people didn't know back in AAA, Mike, in his final year, 260 at bats, 7 Ks.
Right.
He's a punch and Judy hitter. So that's going to be very difficult. And people can say whatever they want. Leori Garcia, really good at filling in the slot. This team's got 60 wins, Mike, with a AAA starting lineup. Just think about that.
Right.
No Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez. And you know what, Sox fans? Your Chicago White Sox would not have won yesterday had it not been for Eloy Jimenez coming back. It's his second game back. They pitched around Jose Abreu to get to Eloy Jimenez. Are you nuts? But anyway, Luis Roberts just came back to AAA. They're probably going about 10 days over there. If everything goes well, he's going to get back in the big league camp. But this Friday is the deadline. Who are they going to get for a catcher? Who knows? Who knows? Right. You say they need bullpen help. I don't think so. They got Carlos Rodon. Not Carlos Rodon. They got Ronaldo Lopez. He went ahead and took over the middle reliever position. And last 2 outings, he's been pretty damn solid. And you got Kopech in there, and these are all frontline starters that are playing in the bullpen. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it.
This team, we've been talking about this team up here, Harry, for a long time, man. We've been, from the beginning of the year, everybody, from week number 2, everybody from when White Sox were calling for Tony La Russa's head all the way till now. All right, like everybody, I mean, it's been up and down all year. People are like, fire Tony La Russa, blah, 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 blah. Time out. First off, you're not firing Tony La Russa. He's got your team in first place. You don't fire a manager when he's in first place. Plain and simple. No matter how much dumb shit he does, you're not.
Hall of Fame manager. Let's repeat that. Hall of Fame manager.
Right. 3,000 wins, 3 World Series titles. You're not firing him. Plain and simple. I don't care if his baseball's out of date or not. And I've been saying it all year, Harry. I've been saying it all year. There was 1 or 2 teams at this time. Yeah, stupid. Shut up, Alan. There was 1 or 2 teams all year long, okay? 1 or 2 teams all year long that have been playing small ball baseball where it's get them on, get them over, and get them in. And the Chicago White Sox have been one of them all year. And look at their record. Their record reflects on what Tony La Russa has brought to this team. It's not a boom or bust team. Look at their home runs as a team combined. They're in the lower half. They're not in the top.
There's only one team worse than homers. Okay, that's the Kansas City Royals.
Thank you. So what does that mean, Harry? That means that your team. That means that the Chicago White Sox. What the Chicago White Sox are doing is they're getting on base and producing runs. They're having productive outs, which is Tony La Russa's baseball game. That is Tony La Russa's game. It's not win. It's not win. Tony, I'm trying to put this where my mouth can actually verbalize it here. Tony La Russa's aspect has always been win the inning. Just win the inning. That's it. If you win the inning, you're winning the game. If you win 8 out of 9 innings, you're winning the game. And that's awesome. And that's exactly what the Chicago White Sox team has showed us this year. They have been a phenomenal team. Now, the pitching has been excellent. Absolutely phenomenal. Between Keuchel, Rodon, Giolito, and Lance Lynn has been awesome. I still firmly believe that they can get this done because Lance Lynn's only on a 1-year contract. Carlos Rodon's only on a 1-year contract. These guys are playing to shine. They're playing for a contract. The White Sox may or may not sign these guys.
No, they'll sign them.
You hope so. But we all know Ryan Brooks is cheap, right?
They signed Lance Lynn to a 2-year deal just last week, I believe. Or was who else is it? No, it was Lance Lynn. I'm 99% sure is what they did. But I don't want people in Chicago and across the U.S. that root for this team to get too excited. I'm going to tell you where their holes are. They have won one ball game this year where they have been behind in a game after the seventh inning. Once. And that's a sign of a team, contrary to what you were saying, Mike, about a team that's going to be able to manufacture and produce runs. But that also goes to the fact that the use of this club. Okay. On the other hand, pitching has been extremely dominant with this team. They're strong from front, from 1 to 5, and then from 6 on. They really are. Their bullpen is absolutely rock solid as well. I'd love to see Kimbrel down there, but you know what? I'm not going to die if they don't. I'd really hope that the Chicago Cubs, in my opinion, were to send Wilson Contreras down to the south side and let him play. This team's in trouble if they don't solidify and they don't get Robert back and they don't do something and at least get the second baseman from the Arizona Diamondbacks, because
Escobar, he already left. He went to the Brewers.
And it's over. You know, they're going to be hurting up the middle, and that's where this team's going to be weak at. And if you can't score runs in your late innings and you go up against other people's aces, this could be a one and done for this team, unfortunately. I don't bet with my heart. I never have. This is an extraordinary ball club. And I don't blame Reinsdorf, okay, for not going out and spending a whole bunch of money right now. This team is really good, and their pitching can get them deep, okay? I don't see them winning the World Series this year unless they get healthy really quick. They get Grandal back, and the pitching continues to hold up. Because when you do get Luis Robert back, you're talking about one of the better center fielders and one of the better sticks in all of baseball, period. Okay? That's how good this team is. But there's a team down here, what we call Tampa Bay, called the Tampa Bay Rays. That's not another team to sleep on. You
can't come to Tampa Bay until they win a champ.
Well, you know what? They did that with baseball, and I'm sorry, they just went and they made it to the World Series last year. The Tampa Bay Lightning repeat back-to-back, and you got the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl. It's pretty nice living down here in Tampa. I wish the Tampa
Bay Lightning winning the Stanley Cup, $18 million over the cap.
Yeah, they still did it, though. It's just like the New York Yankees. How many times did the Yankees win something? I mean, I'm not coming here to go press any kind of nickels or try to, to get people fired up about it. I mean, I'm still Chicago through and through.
Right.
But, I got to be honest with you. It's a pretty nice time to live in Tampa Bay. I'll tell you that right now. Because
I'm sure, yeah.
And you talk about the Tampa Bay Rays, that's the lowest payroll in baseball. How about that? Every time they pull someone up from their minor leagues, they got horse crap ownership down here. That's the problem. Okay.
Right.
And then talking about the White Sox not spending money, I'm making excuses every year when this team is pretty good, saying, I don't blame Reinsdorf for not spending the money. Yes, I do, Jerry. I do blame you for not spending the money because you throw around quarters like George Halas did back in the day, like they were manhole covers.
Right.
Okay. Seriously. They're not sewer lids. They are pretty cheap. They built a team, though. This White Sox team is absolutely solid. They could go all the way, but I don't see it. They got a few too many holes in this.
They do. They definitely do have the potential, and that's one thing that's exciting about to watch this team right now up here in Chicago. I mean, they are a very exciting team to watch. I'm not going to lie, and that's coming from a diehard Cub fan. They are a very exciting team to watch. But there's other teams out there that by Friday I expect to make big splashes, and one of those teams are the Tampa Bay Rays. They've been rumored to go out after Chris Bryant. They've been rumored to go after Craig Kimbrell.
They've can't afford him. They're not going to spend the money.
The Boston Red Sox have been rumored for Anthony Rizzo. The New York Yankees have been rumored for Kyle Hendricks. The Houston Astros have been rumored for Kyle Hendricks. It's all over the place right now. Everybody wants a little piece, but it all depends as a Cub fan what they get back in return. But all those teams that I just mentioned, Harry, who did I just mention? I mentioned the Tampa Bay Rays. I mentioned the Boston Red Sox. And I mentioned the New York Yankees and Houston Astros. All four of those teams are AL teams. All four of those teams are going to be vying for that championship spot to get into the World Series.
Yep.
They're going to be playing really good baseball. All those teams. You know, when it comes October, it's a switch. You flick it on, and those teams become outstanding. Look at what's going on with Houston Astros right now. They've been unbelievable down there in Houston, hitting the snot out of the ball.
Yep.
The Boston Red Sox have been one of, if not the best baseball team in all of baseball, extremely quietly. extremely quietly. And I can't tell you a single starter off that team.
Nope. Can you imagine when Chris Sale comes back, by the way? Their need is pitching. They have no problem scoring runs. They remind me a lot of the early 90s Toronto Blue Jays without the pitching. That team is going to win 105 ball games and get eliminated in the first round. Your two best teams in the American League are by far, there's actually three of them. It's a triangle: Chicago, Houston, Tampa. I didn't say Boston. I sure as hell didn't say the Yankees. I didn't say the Oakland Athletics either. Okay? The Yankees have checked out. I've been watching too many of their games, and there were a couple of games against the Red Sox that they had won easily. And their reliever, what the hell is his name? 105-mile-an-hour
Chapman.
Yeah, Aroldis Chapman sitting on the bench. Didn't even pitch for a couple of days. We're going to let this guy come in the 10th. Let me throw 4 wild pitches and lose. This team is checked out. They're looking to sell. They're not buying. As far as Tampa Bay, they got Nelson Cruz. They didn't have to give up the farm for him. He's going to play very well for him. I assure you, the Tampa Bay Rays are not going to pay big money to bring anybody down here, especially Chris Bryant, because Bryant is going to, let me tell you something. Bryant's is going to take the farm. Lots of money to pay him, and they're going to have to give up a lot of prospects for him. Tampa does not do that. That is not in their DNA. It never has been, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like Chris Bryant, I mean, I think that he should be wanting. I think he should get a haul back for him, but at the same time, he hasn't been the same player since he's gotten hit in the head. That's in my opinion. He hasn't been the same player since he got belted in the dome, and that's legit. So, I mean, anybody who wants to take him, because I'm tired of the antics up here in Chicago. It may not be popular opinion up here with me, and that's fine. But honestly, I would take a bag of used baseballs and a bucket of pine tar for Chris Bryant at this point.
Listen, when the White Sox were going through their fire sale with Adam Eaton and Chris Sale and the rest of the pitchers that they had, it was literally comical. I have a really good friend down here who's matter of fact, he 326 saves in his career, Mr. Roberto Hernandez. He doesn't live too far away, and we've been friends for quite a long time. He was Chicago White Sox original closer in the 90s with Blackjack McDowell and the whole 9 yards. He came in after Bobby Thigpen, and I don't think you remember Bobby Thigpen at all?
Yes, reliever, yes.
Yeah, he played 17 years in the major leagues. He also had 100+ saves here in Tampa Bay. And I remember when the White Sox were unleashing everybody, and I was like really upset. And he came over to the shop, and we were talking, and he goes, "What are you upset for?" He says, "Wait till you see what this team's going to look like in 3 to 4 years." Well, he was off a little bit. He was off by a year. They've got these guys under contract for another 6-7 years. This team is going to be just solid, absolutely solid. But I tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Bryant make a trip to the South Side, because now that fixes 2 positions. Now you fix third base. Hold on. You can make him a third baseman.
Second base.
And now you take Moncada and put him back in his original position over at second base. Now you just, God, that would be disgusting. But they don't want to spend the money for it. Reinsdorf is cheap. The end.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. But regardless, it's still fun to watch this White Sox team. They're on the right track. Fingers crossed. Hopefully they continue doing what they're doing. Hopefully they can figure out something. So if there's one need, Harry, if there's one need, like I said, you're a South Side guy with South Side ties living in the Bay Area of Florida. All right. What does this White Sox team need immediately before the deadline? Right now, who do they need?
Second baseman.
Over a reliever, over everything else, they need a second baseman.
Yes, they need a second baseman. It's that important to get a second baseman. They have the pitching, because come the playoffs, you're not going to have 5 starting pitchers. Okay, so you're going to take your 4 and 5th, and you're going to put them in the bullpen. That's what I'm saying. They have a solid. I mean, look, Kimbrel is great. You in a perfect world, I want Kimbrel. And I want a second baseman, and I want a catcher. It's just not going to happen. They're just not going to do it. So just don't get too excited. But that's my answer. I think they need a second baseman. I think they're going to be fine top to bottom on their pitching.
All right. So another reason. Let's cut out the baseball talk here. We talked our Cubs. We've talked our White Sox, Harry. You are the man when it comes to bets right now. You've been riding a fucking sweet hot hand. And I got a couple real – tell everybody what your hot hand has been really quick, Harry. What's your hot hand been as of lately?
Oh, God. I don't even like talking about it because it's almost on the verge of bragging. You want to go back to last season for football?
Do it. Do it right now. Do it right now.
88% I picked against the spread in football.
Yes,
I did. I've been gambling for 30-plus years. I've never had a season like that, and I am going to tell you straight up. I have this horseshoe buried in my ass, and I'm not giving it back. And it carried over into baseball this year. I'm serious, man. It has. Right now in baseball, it's verifiable. I am 35 wins, 12 losses, 2 pushes. And out of those 35 wins, you ready? 33 of them are underdogs.
That's what's up.
I got some picks for tomorrow if you want them.
Do them up right now. Do them up. Give them out for us.
Yankees at the Rays tomorrow. Patino for Tampa. He's 1-2 with a 5.26 ERA. The guy's a lot better than what it's showing. He's going up against the mighty Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is 10-5 with a 2.74 ERA. Tampa's an underdog at home. I like a very small position in this game. But better yet, I like the over 7. That's what I like. If you want to make it something small, you play Tampa or over 7, but I like the over 7 better. Dodgers at the Giants. Cueto is on the mound against David Price. Cueto is 6-5 with a 4.0 ERA. David Price, 0-0 with a 3.35. I guess he's coming off an injury. The Giants are another underdog at home at plus 120. Play the Giants in a small position. The Milwaukee Brewers are at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cool. Pittsburgh, 4.38 ERA with a 3-5 record. Peralta, one of the better pitchers in ERA in baseball. He's 7-3 and 2.29. You ready, National League fans? Pittsburgh wins this game at plus 165. You might even get to 170. I like an upset there. The biggest upset of the game, your Colorado Rockies at the San Diego Padres. Freeland is on the mound. He's 1-5. Okay? Read this. 4.85 ERA. That's not a ballooned ERA for a 1-5 record. Against Musgrove, he's 6-7 with a 3.13. Nobody, a fool, would bet a home team, okay, at minus 280. I'm not laying 3-1 on my money, guys. You make a small position at plus 270 with Colorado. I think Colorado wins this game, so we'll recap it here. I love the over in the Yankees and Rays over 7. Dodgers at the Giants. Take the Giants to the small underdog. Take the Pirates at the big underdog at plus 165, and the Padres, don't bet them. Bet the Rockies. Do not bet this in a parlay because I'll tell you what, these 4 teams, it's like 100-1 or something ridiculous. I mean, if you did, make it a very itty-bitty parlay because as Harry DeGreek says on the show all the time at the end, keep your bets small and your returns high. I've always said that. I lived and died by it. But these particular games, make small wagers, nice outcomes. I'll tell you what, especially if the Rockies win, you could lose the other 3 and still make money.
I just wrote down the 3 that I really like that you just gave. I really love the over 7 on the Tampa Bay game, Pittsburgh outright, and Colorado outright. I'm going to parlay that tonight for $20, just for shits and giggles. See what happens.
Pittsburgh and Colorado, that 20 will get you well over $100. Now, if you do the 3-teamer, I'm telling you right now, you run that as a 3-teamer and that came in for $20, you're looking well over $200. I mean, that's what
I'm doing right now. I'm putting $20 on it tonight, Harry. I'm putting $20 on it tonight. Really quick before we cut you loose, Harry, I know that you got your show coming up here right now. There's a couple futures, NFL futures, that I really like here. Okay, Trevor Lawrence is at plus 280. Justin Fields is at plus 600. Trey Lance is at plus 700. Zach Wilson plus 750. Mac Jones plus 900. But the one I really, really, really like is Kyle Pitts plus 1100. I really like that.
It's really hard to take a position player, especially a tight end, because theoretically and historically, tight ends, especially rookies, and I understand that Pitts is a different animal,
He's a totally different breed.
It's going to be 500-600 yards, maybe, is what they typically get in their rookie season when they're first-round draft picks. This kid could go off for 1,000 yards. You are absolutely correct. But it's going to be really hard, especially in a Shanahan offense, to take and go away from Trey Lance. If Justin Fields gets a chance, he could go off, especially with his legs. He's got a big chance, but he's not going to start the season. I'm not a fan of the kid, Trevor Lawrence. I'm not, unfortunately. I don't think he's going to be as good as people are advertising. That's just my own opinion. I've watched a lot of tape on this young man. But those are the future bets. But if I had to take one of them, I'd have to give you two of them. Take Justin Fields and Trey Lance.
Okay. I got another one here for you.
Sure.
Now this one's the kicker. I was talking about this earlier, okay? Best regular season record, dead heat rules apply. Okay. Right now it's the Kansas City Chiefs plus 400. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus 500. Buffalo Bills come in third at plus 900. The Baltimore Ravens at plus 1,000. The team I'm really liking right now, and this is I mentioned it earlier in my text group, and I hate this fucking team, but this team always proves me wrong. This team always proves me wrong. Look what happened with the Green Bay Packers last year. All right, the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, everybody says he's washed up. They grabbed Jordan Love. That's a nice pussy you got there, Harry.
I know, buddy. I'm sorry about that. She's just going to keep walking around.
Best record in the NFL right now, Green Bay Packers plus 2,500.
Okay, first off, you can bet under on that, period. Just bet under on their total wins. That team, and don't even get me off on a tangent, because I'll tell you what, if you guys want to hear about it, go to bucksreport.com at 9 o'clock. I am going to be talking about the Packers so much today, it's not even funny. That man single-handedly screwed that ball club. Period. You divided the fan base, you divided the ownership, and you sure as hell divided that locker room. Good job, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. You're never going to be and never will be a Brett Favre, ever.
Yeah, I agree. And I got this one.
By the way, but go ahead.
I got this one for you too, Harry. I know that you got to get ready. I got one more for you. The last one we just did. Guys, I'm really quick. We're at 12:52, Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show. Sitting here with Harry the Greek from the Bucks Report down there in Tampa. He's got a show coming up here in a few minutes. His show is absolutely amazing. Make sure you guys transfer from our show to his show because this stuff is awesome.
Thank you.
Really quick, Harry. We just went over the best regular season record, worst regular season record. And I'll tell you one that I absolutely like. The leader in right now is the Houston Texans at plus 250. I don't like that. The Lions plus 350. I don't like that. The New York Jets plus 750. I don't like that. The team that I like to finish out with the worst record in football is the Atlanta Falcons at plus 3,000.
That's got a chance. But I'm going to tell you why that's not going to happen, because that offense can score points. Unfortunately, their defense couldn't stop you and me. Okay?
Their defense couldn't stop a fucking cold.
No, I get it. Okay? But that offense is going to score 40 points just to lose 42-40. I like Detroit to have the worst record in football this year. That's my opinion.
And that's right now. If you make that today, that's a plus 350.
I know, and it's decent. But you also mentioned the Houston Texans. They're not going to be as bad as people think. Their defense is also not that good. However, they do now have Lovie Smith as their defensive coordinator, and he's going to do wonders. He always has done wonders with defenses, especially with subpar talent, because they do run that cover 2 defense, that old Tampa 2. As far as offensively, you don't know who you're going to be your quarterback. Is it going to be Deshaun Watson? Probably not. But you know what? Tyrod Taylor is going to do just fine, and they just got Anthony Miller down there. And I'll tell you what, they're going to sneak up on some teams this year. I see you. I know. I see it.
Anthony Miller's a fucking turd sandwich.
Tell me how you really feel. Anyway,
you don't want to tell me how I really. You don't want me to tell you how I really feel.
No. But I am going to give you one lock on week 1. Actually, 2 of them. It is so disrespectful, and I'm not saying it to be a homer. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are minus 6 points against the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care how healthy Dallas is. They don't play defense. Atlanta's defense is probably better than Dallas's, and I'm not exaggerating. How in the world can someone sit there and tell me that the Dallas Cowboys are a 6-point underdog in this game? Why isn't this game 9 or 10 or even 11? So you're telling me if Tampa was in Dallas, that this game would be Tampa -3. Tampa would only be favored in this game by 3. Think about that. Let that sink in for a second. The other game I absolutely love, the Denver Broncos are traveling. Is it Denver going to the Giants? If I'm not mistaken, that's week 1.
Yep.
The Giants are an underdog. Play them on the money line. The Giants are going to surprise some people. They're going to win the NFC East this year. What else you got for me, Mike? Because I got to get going. I got to get some production.
That's all I got for you, man. Harry, where can we find you at? Where can we follow your stuff at?
I'll tell you exactly where you can find me. I'm Harry the Greek. I'm on Bucks Report via Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I have a show called The Over Under. It's always Wednesdays at 9 p.m. I appreciate you having me on, and I cannot wait till Tampa and Chicago are playing each other, because we're going to do this little cross-pollination thing. We're going to talk about what's happening down here in Tampa and a little bit about what's going on up there in Chicago. I think that's going to be fun.
Excellent, Harry. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Can't wait to have you on again soon, my friend.
Deuces, my brother. Stay safe. Most of all, congratulations. You're getting married soon. You definitely outkicked your coverage, brother.
Divorce soon after that. Let me tell you, divorce.
No, don't you dare say that. You take care of yourself.
Take care, man. We'll talk to you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That's my buddy. That's my buddy Harry over at the Bucks Report. He is absolutely awesome. I love that guy. I've been on his show a bunch of times. He's absolutely phenomenal. Again, you can find him at the Bucks Report. He's great. Alan, if you could, my guy backstage, running everything, doing the whole 9. Give us a spot shot for what we got going on here. Give us one of our awesome sponsors that make this show happen. Hey, Susie, thanks for hooking me up with the Fat Mike markdown on my insurance rates at State Farm. This is awesome.
No, Mike. The Fat Mike markdown is not a real thing.
I don't believe that for a second. Let me repay you the favor and tell you and all my friends about the Fat Mike markdown.
Okay, well, that's just fine, considering that State Farm just gives everyone surprisingly great rates.
You heard it here first, folks. So give Susie Sheehan over at State Farm Agency a call and ask for the Fat Mike markdown. It's the best.
For the real deal, give us a call at 815-306-0184 or go to SusieSheehan.com to request a quote. My team at the Susie Sheehan Agency is here to help with all of your insurance needs for auto, home, and life, and we service Illinois and Indiana. Also, if you mention the Fat Mike markdown, $10 will be donated to a local charitable organization through our Quotes for Good program in your name. Remember, that's 815-306-0184 or SusieSheehan.com. Thanks so much.
Get on it, everybody.
Woo-hoo.
All right, guys, we are back. And really quick, Alan, if you could play another one of those sponsors, that'd be awesome.
Hello, this is Paul from Nick and Ivy Brewing Company. We are located at 1026 South State Street in historic downtown Lockport, Illinois. We are very excited to be partnering up with the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show, as well as the 1252 brand, because we are one of the few Chicagoland breweries that embrace sports and sports culture. Come in for a fresh brewed beer made right here in Lockport while catching the game of your favorite team. Stay for the live music that we have booked every weekend, or just come for a cozy atmosphere to enjoy a good conversation with a friend, loved one, or complete stranger. Nick and Ivy makes you feel right at home no matter what the occasion is. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook by searching for Nick and Ivy Brewing Company. Visit our website for our up-to-date tap list or to go shopping on our online store at nickivybrewing.com. That's NIKIVY brewing.com. Come in today for a fresh brewed beer born and raised in Lockport, Illinois.
All right, and we are back, guys. Thanks for waiting. We're getting there. It's all right. We got this. We'll be okay. We'll figure this bad boy out. But thank you guys for sticking in there. I really do appreciate it. So now I want to bring on my guy Alan here. My guy Alan in the background, talking, doing everything in the background. He's kicking ass, doing his thing. Let's see where he's at. I want to see him. Let me see his beautiful face.
Buddy.
Let me see that beautiful mug of his.
Hi, buddy.
There he is. There he is. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. It's most likely all my fault. I still haven't went and got that hardwire yet.
It happens, though. It happens. That's the beauty
Well, you know
of
what?
live television, buddy. Or live podcast.
You know what? We're kicking ass. I'm trying to figure it out along the way, and we're doing a pretty damn good job of it.
We're doing all right. We'll get there. We just got to get you hardwired, man. We got to get you on that level for sure.
Exactly. So, Alan, Harry the Greek gave us some football picks, and I want to stay on the topic of football here.
Yeah.
The Bears, man. The Bears.
Yes, sir.
A lot of big things came out with the Bears this week. Why don't you let us know a little bit about what's going on here with our Bear team. They finally reported. Now what?
Yeah, I mean, so, looking at camp going forward, we have a lot of good expectations, especially for me and you both. We've talked a lot about that offensive line, Mike. You know as well as I do, that's a huge part of this, specifically Tevin Jenkins. For me, that's probably my number one now, besides quarterback of this team that I'm the most excited about. Seeing Tevin Jenkins hopefully take that step over at left tackle, seeing if Larry Borum can maybe beat out Jermaine Ifedi at right tackle. Hopefully, we see. Probably Ifedi, though, but that's my biggest look at. Other than that, I'd say Cole Kmet, really seeing if he's going to take on that number one tight end spot, as well as probably Darnell Mooney, also seeing his step up from last year, and seeing Allen Robinson, on that contract year, seeing what he can really bring is what I'm probably the most excited about this year, I would say.
Right. And Darnell Mooney's he's my big player this year too, especially after losing Anthony Miller. He's going to get nothing but more reps. But from the get-go, man, I've said from the very beginning, this team needed to work on the offensive line. And they did. Now I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna tell you straight up, I was not the happiest camper. It's recorded. I was not the happiest camper with the Justin Fields pick. I was not happy because I thought they needed an offensive line immediately to protect somebody of the talents of Justin Fields. They were lucky in grabbing a guy like Tevin Jenkins in the second round and coming back and grabbing Larry Borum when they got him as well from Mizzou. Yeah. I'm super stoked about both of those pickups. And this team, it looks like it's going to be the real deal. But, Alan, do you think that Justin Fields has a legitimate chance of being a starter this year for the Chicago Bears?
I do. And the reason I really do, Mike, is I would say the most is because Matt Nagy is always going to Matt Nagy. You know as well as I do, that man can't sit without having his new toys out there. Andy Dalton is shining. I heard today he threw some good deep balls today in practice. That's only going to get us so far, though. We all know where the future is going here. We all know what we're expecting of this team this year. They're not a Super Bowl caliber team. They want to see what they have with the cards that they have in the hand, man. And we all know that wild card has to be Justin Fields. So hopefully going forward, I would say at the earliest, I was saying early, probably week 4 to 5. The more I think about it, it depends on how this team's playing. But for me, I would say that the latest he could jump in would be around the bye week, which is week 10.
See, I think that Justin Fields will be the starter by week 5. That's my prediction for this year for the Chicago Bears.
Raiders game, I believe.
That's my big and bold prediction this year for our Chicago Bears. I have a feeling that Justin Fields will be the starter by week 5. And I think it's not going to be because of underperformance by Andy Dalton. I think it's going to be because of injury out of Andy Dalton, is what I think. He's brittle-boned now, man. He's old. He's a little long in the tooth. And I think that he's going to get hit a little funny, or maybe have rotator cuff problems or shoulder problems or something along the lines. Now, I'm not praying for that. I'm not hoping for that. I think that's where it's going to be.
Though, Mike, like in saying that, are you saying that you think the offensive line isn't going to be able to hold him up?
No, but accidents happen. You know what I mean? Everybody gets hit. Tom Brady gets hit. Tom Brady played the entire year with a torn ACL, MCL last year. Did he not?
Yeah. Yeah,
that's the reports that are coming out now.
But
I mean, he had one of the best.
though.
And same thing with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes had a decimated offensive line last year. He got hit quite a bit last year.
Yeah.
Right? Stuff happens to the best of the best players. Look, the year after Tom Brady threw 51 touchdowns or whatever the hell it is, week 1 he broke his fucking leg.
Yep.
All right, it happens. Shit happens. Shit that you don't account for is going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, I know we're sitting here praying for Andy Dalton and hoping that Andy Dalton comes out. Not saying that he's going to be a world beater or saying he's going to be anything excellent or spectacular or anything exceptional. All right, but if he can just fill a role, it's a big thing for this Chicago Bears team. All right,
I mean,
now
he's already doing better than Mitch. Day one. So,
yeah, exactly.
Has to be better, man.
Exactly. So I'm excited for this Bears season, man. We're going to be doing a 12-52 fantasy football draft here too. I know we're going to be doing that over at Nick and Ivy Brewing Company out in Lockton, Illinois. So I know we got a couple people. We got a couple spots open. We're going to be raffling off spots on Twitter and off Facebook and stuff like that to make sure everybody's there. If you guys aren't able to make it, we'll be online available to where you guys can make your picks and stuff like that. It'll be a lot of fun. We do have that planned as well. It's going to be fun. So, I mean, not only our Bears, but football's coming back, man. It's finally here. It's finally here, Alan. It's finally here.
I have a surprise question for you, actually. So you love Madden about as much as I do, probably. You know that I'm better than you at it, but we don't need to go there. But so some of the more ratings have been coming out all week, Mike, and the ones that came out today were running backs and also
whoa. Slow your roll. I'm better than you at Madden.
we haven't got there yet, but I'll embarrass you soon enough. Don't worry, my friend.
You know what? That needs to be a twitch. That needs to be a twitch. Next week when you come up, you and I are having a Madden day.
Well, the new one's going to come out pretty soon, so I'm fully intending on buying the new one.
We'll play last year's game, and I will stomp your dick into the turf.
It's a cross-platform game, so you could just buy the new one, and we could just play online, and I could just show everybody that I'm better than you real fast.
No. False. Fake news.
But anyway,
fake advertising.
Anyway, back to what – oh, hang on. Unpopular opinion, right? But anyway, though, so the Madden ratings have been coming out, and the running backs really kind of upset me today a little bit. I went on my Bears Fans with a Brain page, and I kind of ranted a little bit about it. So where do you think David Montgomery ranks in the top 10? And what rating
is he even in the top 10?
That's a trick question. Yes, he's not in the top 10. What do you think his rating is?
I'm going to say I'll say he's probably 12 of 13, 12 of 15.
So his ranking is 84 overall. And this is the top 10 list right here. If you can read that on your phone, Mike. Number 1 is Christian McCaffrey. Number 2 is Derrick Henry. Number 3 is Nick Chubb. Number 4 is Dalvin Cook. Number 5 is Alvin Kamara. Number 6 is Aaron Jones from the Packers. 7 is Saquon Barkley. 8 is Josh Jacobs. 9 is Ezekiel Elliott. And 10 is Joe Mixon. So
yeah, the only player I think that doesn't deserve to be in the – bring that up again, please.
Yeah.
The only player that I think that doesn't deserve to be in the top 10 there is Joe Mixon. This guy – I mean, this guy hasn't played – Josh Jacobs has been pretty solid out there in Oakland, but I don't think he's that high up on the list.
So Josh Jacobs had 26 more carries than Montgomery had and 5 less yards. And he's on this list and Montgomery isn't.
Right.
That just doesn't make sense to me. But
Joe Mixon should not be in the top 10.
I agree with Joe Mixon completely. Those two were really the two. And I was honestly surprised that Nick Chubb was ahead of Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara. You know, I mean, I love Nick Chubb. Don't get me wrong, but Alvin Kamara is a different animal from Nick Chubb, in my opinion. You know, he can just do more. I just don't understand this list, Mike. I don't.
I keep on thinking about this too. I keep on, like, when I look at the Madden list, and it's hard for me to do this too, though, because like when I look at the Madden list, I automatically link it to fantasy list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why. That's just the way my brain is hardwired. And Joe Mixon, he is not one of the top 10 backs I would take in fantasy football. And also, then I could bring that back up again. I'm sorry. For fantasy football, Alvin Kamara would not be my 5th running back off the board.
No. I would put Alvin Kamara.
He's falling down because he doesn't have a quarterback to get him the ball in the flat.
Well, see, that's why I think he's going to get a better year because he's going to get more carries. And he's going to be that he's really going to be that guy where wherever I'm guessing Jameis Winston is in trouble, he's going to need a bailout guy. I think that's Alvin Kamara, in my opinion. I think he should be higher on that list. This is the same argument that some of us had, whenever we were talking about fantasy running backs and who exactly should have been number 1, number 2, 3, all that. I think Alvin Kamara is going to be better than a guy like Dalvin Cook. Solely for that reason, because there's no other option but him, really. I mean, you've got Mike Thomas, but just like you said, Mike, are they going to be able to get him the ball all the time? Is Mike Thomas going to be healthy the whole year? I know Alvin Kamara can stay healthy. I don't think Dalvin Cook can. And they have a pass-first offense in Minnesota. So why would they be running the rock constantly when they've got a guy like Justin Jefferson there and Adam Thielen, who they can throw the ball to all day long?
Well, they're still gonna run the ball. Dalvin Cook had a monster year last year. Come on. They still had Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen last year, and they still ran the ball a lot. Dalvin Cook was unbelievable last year. Yeah. But to go back, I know our point of David Montgomery being as low as he is. David Montgomery is better than 2 of the top 10 that are in that list, I believe.
I do too. I think at least he should have been 10, at least, ahead of Joe Mixon any day of the week.
Yeah, Joe Mixon, my head hurts every single week. My labia hurts every other week. I'm so sick of that fucking guy. I don't know how many times I've drafted that guy in a fantasy team, and he just shits all over my fucking fantasy team. I hate that guy.
I understand completely, and that's one of the reasons why I had to scratch my head whenever I saw this list. But anyway, so segging back way to our Bears, Mike, the other question I really have for you is I'm really concerned about this corner situation we have. Is Justin Jefferson is
Jalen Johnson?
Jalen Johnson. We're talking about other guys. Is Jalen Johnson, in your eyes, really that number 1 guy going forward? Do you think Desmond Trufant has a chance to make this team the whole year? You think he's going to be healthy all year for it? I'm kind of concerned about these things. I've heard in camp that Kendall Bildor is really locking down that nickel spot. He's very vocal. He's really turning into a leader of that defense. So hopefully he can lock that. But those outside corner spots, Mike, is what I'm really concerned about. What do you think about those?
Well, I mean, Jalen Johnson has no other option to step up this year. Yeah. I mean, losing. Oh my God, I almost said Nathan Vasher, but that's not the guy. Losing Kyle Fuller. Yeah. Losing Kyle Fuller it's a big loss. But we all know that Kyle Fuller's game relied heavily on the pressure at the quarterback. It's been noted. When the pressure's on the quarterback and the quarterback makes a mistake, that's when Kyle Fuller's good. Yeah. If there's no pressure on the quarterback, Kyle he's pedestrian. I mean, that's what it boiled down to. He's a very pedestrian cornerback. Jalen Johnson had times that looked fantastic last year. He had times where it was like, oh, God, Jalen Johnson, what are you doing? Hopefully this year he comes out to prove himself to be a number 1.
Oh, I think we're losing him again. Well, Mike, it was great talking to you, but sounds like you're out again, and we are at an hour time. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So everybody, thank you again for joining. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we will see you next week. Thank you.